Yo ho ho, it is time to have fun. This is Mike Dooley, your host, welcoming you back to the second of three main events for the great cosmic shift messages of hope for a world in transformation. Our guest tonight, oh my gosh, he has spent 35 years helping, teaching, sharing with individuals from all over the world, huge audiences, one-on-one audiences. He is here to be of service. Daryl Anka channels Bashar. Reading their website, Bashar is an Arabic word. It means messenger, and in particular, messenger of good news. And I, I can tell you from much experience that it is among the best news I have ever experienced in my life here on earth. Like Edgar Casey, like Seth, channeled by Jane Roberts, like Abraham from Esther Hicks. The Bashar material has been heralded as some of the most relevant, compelling, and dynamic information delivered to this realm heretofore. In addition to channeling Bashar, Daryl expresses his creative talents in the forms of writing, directing, and producing films through his own production company, Zia Films. Daryl's recent documentary, which he wrote, produced, and directed, is entitled First Contact, where he explores his life as a channel and the messages Bashar shares through him. It is my deep honor to introduce to you and welcome to the platform Daryl Anka, a presentation titled From Fear to Flow, Choosing Your Highest Timeline. Daryl, brother, it's great to see you again.
Hi, Mike. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Well, the gratitude is ours. Where are you broadcasting from tonight?
I'm in Los Angeles. That's where I live.
Okay. All right. And is it always the same for you? Can you describe your experience as a full trance channel? It seems to differ from channel to channel.
Yeah, for me, well, first of all, you have a little bit of old information there. I've actually been channeling for over 40 years now. That's an old piece
I
of
got
information.
that from your website. So,
I
okay,
know,
got
I
it,
know.
got it.
We have to change that. But for me, it's kind of like it's going into an altered state that anyone actually does go into anytime you're focused on what you love to do, you're not paying attention to the passage of time, you're lost in a daydream, somebody has to walk in the room and call your name 3 times before you hear them. It's sort of like that. It's like a very energetic daydream. I know there's something going on. I know Bashar is communicating with someone, but I'm experiencing something so much stronger. I'm getting direct information, downloads, energy, patterns, images that might be generally representative of what he's talking to you about. But my brain is translating those telepathic thoughts into the language I was raised to understand, which is English. And that translation is very secondary to me. So I'm not paying attention to the words. If I know that there's even dialogue happening, it's very muffled, like it's in another room somewhere. So it's a very dynamic, very ever-changing experience for me. Sometimes I liken it to standing under a pounding waterfall of energy, and the translation that you're getting is the spray. So what I'm getting is so much more powerful that I just can't break from it. But it's also a very flexible kind of experience because while he's talking to someone else, I can actually have a separate conversation with him. And I can ask questions on my own behalf and get answers and information that I need for my life. So it's a real interesting altered state of consciousness that I experienced during the channeling.
Fantastic. And you're so generous with your time. I am a big fan of both your interviews, which are always riveting, and those where
Thank you.
someone has captured from the audience Bashar speaking. It's all over social media. Once you start liking them, you get the algorithm and you see more. Thank you for all the sharing you do. And I'd
Of
like
course.
inform the audience right now a little bit of what you could share about Bashar. I'll share in my own view. It's rather sensational.
Well,
As I read on your website, Daryl, and it certainly holds true for me, where it's coming from is so secondary to the fact that it resonates as truth. It's empowering. It's discussing life's beauty and the love that
yeah.
holds everything together. I just light up when I hear it. And then it's like, oh, it came from Bashar, and Bashar is where. Last night we had the Echelon from Riz Mirza. They are an interdimensional collective.
Mhm.
What might you share about what Bashar is or where he comes
Bashar
from?
presents himself as an extraterrestrial entity, a physical being or a quasi-physical being. He has traits of both spirit and physical reality. He belongs to a civilization that in his language is called Essassani. And what's happening here is a telepathic contact because they have evolved to the point where they're telepathic with each other. And over the course of years, I've been trained to be able to alter my brainwave rate, my frequency, to become something closer to his. He alters his to become something closer to mine. And therefore, somewhere in the middle, we sort of lock and vibrate in harmony. And that's why my brain then acts as a translation device, in a sense, a telephone for the telepathic thoughts that I'm receiving. But he does present himself as a member of an extraterrestrial race. He refers to himself as a first contact specialist. He makes contact, initial contact with various civilizations, including Earth, to prepare people for the imminent arrival of physical contact of extraterrestrials to the different societies that he interacts with. So this is his job, is to prepare us for this, to give us information that will upgrade our frequency and allow us to become more vibrationally compatible with the frequency that the ETs exist on, so that, you know, we don't freak out. We can absorb and be able to interact with them in a constructive and creative and positive way. So that's basically the job he does. And as you pointed out, it's really more important not so much that people focus on Bashar himself,
Right.
or even that they have to believe that Bashar is real. Could be another aspect of my own consciousness. I have no way of proving his existence. I have my own experiences with him that give me enough proof that he is a real entity. But really what's important is the information that he brings through. That's what he wants us to focus on, because that's where we can prove to ourselves that the information actually makes a difference in our lives. It does cause changes to happen in a positive way. So to me, that's more important. And to Bashar, it's more important that people decide whether or not they want to use and apply the information to improve their lives, or whether they want to leave that all alone. That's completely up to them. He has no agenda about what people decide to take or not take from what he's sharing. This is simply what he does. It's representative of his passion, and he would do it whether anyone was listening or not.
Yeah. It brings to mind the first time I ever heard about channeling, and for somebody hearing about channeling the first time, it's out there, much less channeling that's coming from an ET. But the first time I heard about it was from my mother, who was a little bit woo-woo. This is like 4 decades ago. I was at university. She found the Seth books. And
Mhm.
she's like, you got to read these. They're channeled by a lady in trance, and her husband take notes. And I was like, Mom, like, this is not okay. You need help. And she
Yeah.
was like, shut up, read
And
what
read the
Seth
book.
has to say,
Yeah.
and then judge.
Yeah.
My life has never been the same.
No, absolutely not. And I'm see, this is the reason why we did the documentary, because one of the things we wanted to do was to demystify the concept of what channeling is. Because as I said, it's something we actually all do. It's an altered
Yeah.
state in the brain that is referred to as gamma, between 40 and 100 cycles per second. And anytime you're in the zone, anytime you're focused on and absorbed by something that you're loving to do and you don't pay attention, it feels like maybe 15 minutes has gone by, but you look up and it's been like 2 hours. That is a channeling state. So it just depends on what you choose to do with it, how you choose to express it. It can be expressed in any number of ways. But we wanted to take it out of the woo-woo category and say, look, everyone not only can do this, everyone does do this from time to time. It's just that they don't realize they've shifted into this altered state when they're hyper focused on something that they really love to do, or they're in the zone like an athlete or a musician or an actor or something like that. These are all channeling states. When you see somebody performing on a peak level like that, they're in the gamma state.
Exactly. Okay, so shall we do it, Daryl?
Absolutely. Give me a minute. Bashar will come through, and then have a good time.
Oh, we will.